Welcome to the World of Warships with Captain Yamo. I am your host, Captain Yamo, and this is the Tier 7 Japanese destroyer, the Hatsuharu. And what I'm going to try and highlight here is one of the ways that you can use your destroyer to be more effective, even when you don't have a high rate of fire on your torpedoes, or, of course, you have your Japanese destroyer guns, which aren't always as useful as you'd like them to be. I guess it'd be the best way to put it. I'm gonna have to apologize. I am sucking on a Halls because my throat is pretty sore. I've got a cold. But so here's what I'm thinking right now in the game, if I remember correctly. I spawned on this side. I might as well head to this side to get eyeballs on the enemy team that's coming over here into the east. And, with the Japanese guns being like they are, well, you got to try and figure out a way to make them more effective. That's really what you got to do. In any ship that you're playing, you have to try and figure out how to use what you got and make it more effective. So we run into BBWLTD. And I fire some torpedoes short and then long, assuming that he'll turn away or change his direction enough that those won't be very helpful. So I pop some smoke, and then I get ready to start using my guns. Once you're in a smoke cloud like this, you can fire your guns without being spotted, so long as there's not a cruiser with hydroacoustic search or, another ship right close to you. So we see AAA LSD here. And I start pouring some fire into him. Look at it. Set him on fire. He's going to have to repair that. Almost immediately after that, we take out his engines. And immobilize him there in the middle of that little smoke cloud he's trying to pop. And he gets wasted. So at this point, it really looks like, we kind of have D going on right now. And then I see these torpedoes and decide I better get out of the way. But I'm still going to want to try and stick into this cloud. I don't want to get out there, kind of like the Omaha there. Ism, who is just about to be done in this match. There you go. And here's the thing. Now, when you're firing it at targets about, 9, 10 kilometers away, around the maximum range of your torpedoes, you can't expect those torpedoes to hit. Not with any kind of regularity. Somebody really has to be asleep at the wheels there to get hit by these torpedoes. And so sometimes what I like to do is I like to spread my torpedoes around. I'm going to take some fire at what I guess should be Sheldon, and boogie on out of here, because it's looking bad on the east. We've got 4 ships. They've got at least 5, 6, 7. There you go. So I'm gonna make waves, and look at that. I got a nice hit on somebody, probably the Miyoko. I'm not certain if it was or wasn't. And I like to spread my torpedoes around for a number of reasons. If I shoot at 2 different targets, there's a chance that one of them is too busy to really be paying attention to what I'm doing. They're too busy to be paying attention to torpedoes. And knowing that we're heavily outnumbered now, I want to take out every destroyer I can spot. I mean, I want to take them out anyways, right? But here, they're going to be a huge problem for my team. So again, see, I'm spreading the torpedoes out. I wasn't even really aiming at anything that second spread. And to be honest, I don't think I hit anything. But when you see torpedoes in the water, and especially if it's just one set of torpedoes, it makes the captain think, where's that other set of torpedoes? So sometimes you got to play that psychological game too. So right now, if you're looking at the score, the game is fairly close, right? We've got about 60 points on them. And we've got the map spread. We have A and C, they have B and D. So both teams will be gaining points at roughly the same speed. Should almost be the exact same speed, but for some reason they sometimes... See, we got 3 there, or they got 3 there, now we both got 3. And again, here we go. Long-range torpedoes won't necessarily hit, but they may change the direction of the ship. And I find, especially when you're dealing with larger ships, your battleships and whatnot, if I fire the torpedo at the right angle, even if I miss them, I may get them to turn away from me or turn their guns away from where I am or wherever my teammates are. And that can be a benefit too, because their guns are as bad as the Japanese destroyer guns on most battleships. So I'm planning on hiding in this cove right now, and hopefully that Cleveland or any of those other ships will come around this headland, and I'll be able to nail them. Unfortunately, I make a rookie mistake. You'll notice that I don't have a little yellow indicator next to my HE shells down there in the bottom portion of the screen. And so what actually happens is my anti-air goes off and starts shooting at that spotter aircraft that the Cleveland has running around. It gets me spotted and probably blew these torpedoes. Although there's a chance that the spotter aircraft would have spotted the torpedoes anyways, and the torpedoes would have been spotted by the Cleveland and avoided. So my team we're losing we're losing objective B, or we're gaining objective B, and we have a 100-point advantage on the enemy team right now. But we're down to only 2 destroyers where they have 3. And we still have a carrier advantage, and then we're tied in cruisers, so we're going to just try and keep making these differences bigger and bigger. Now I got to give it to Bobby Dulles. You know, he does a really good job of dodging torpedoes before they're coming. He knows I've got them. And so you'll see he keeps taking these wild changes of his direction, which make it very hard, even at 7.5 kilometers, for me to even come close to hitting him. See, on the island, I know that I can take some shots at him and then disappear before he can respond to me. So I take my shots there, get some hits, and use my island for my cover. They take C from us, and now we're both gaining points at the same rate. And I kept hoping that he would turn back and go through this gap, especially knowing that Dr. Sockface and Taquino were heading back this way. I was hoping he would turn hard to port here and try and come through in between these islands. But because I focused locked in on that, I didn't recognize that I allow him to get too close to me. And he's going to spot me pretty quickly here. which screws up these torpedoes for me. So I get detected right there, and he turns away. It's not a total loss, however, because he was shooting over his starboard side at Dr. Sockface and Takina. After he spotted me there, he dodges again and puts himself right there at the facing that island. So while those torpedoes didn't really do any damage, they kind of helped out by putting him in the corner. Kind of like the Blair Witch. And that damn Hatsuharu pops up. And being spotted by this guy and knowing that he's going to be out here and really wrecking the day of my battleship that's coming over here, Dr. Sockface, I've decided to start taking shots at him. Can't sit still, because that Cleveland will sink you in a hurry in a destroyer. And now the Omaha's taking shots at me pretty quickly. The Cleveland can be taking shots at me. And fortunately, Takina takes out BBLWTD. So, if you're in a Japanese carrier and you want an opportunity to use your guns on somebody, one of the better ways you can do it is to help yourself out. Make sure you have some teammates in the area. Oh, you'll notice I shot over to my starboard of Bobby Dulles there. That was because in my mind, he was going to continue out between those two islands and turn to port so that he could either fire at and or run away from the New Mexico and the Miyoko turning in on him. He didn't do that. He backed up. You can see that the Minakaze came just short of shooting Dr. Sockface with his torpedoes. Anytime that an enemy ship is heading away from you, you have to probably be about, I don't know, I would say within twice the distance of the maximum of your torpedoes so that you can in fact do damage to them. Now with the Cleveland detecting me, I throw up my smoke cloud, I slow down inside the smoke cloud, and I start using my guns on him and shoot some torps for good luck, for good measure. You never know. He's dodged almost everything else I've shot at him. He might not dodge these. But inside my smoke cloud with a friendly ship, Dr. Sockface there spotting him for me, I can sit there and shoot away at him very, very, very safely. And I don't get the kill on him, but that's alright. I lose the kill to Dr. Sockface, who was having a pretty good game. You know, hats off to you, Doctor. You get your hat trick right there. And that'll be the end of this match. Okay, so here we go. 132,000 credits, 3,474 XP. That's with the 1.5. 38 hits with the cannons. 1 torpedo hit, 5 incapacitations, 4 fires, 1 flooding, 10 base defenses, 1 captured base. Man. Oh, to be a sneaky destroyer. 2,316 base XP. Off of 14,000 points of damage, almost 2,000 points of fire damage, 100 points of flood, almost 9,000 points of torpedo damage. And that's a lot of hits. For a Japanese destroyer, at least.
And look, here you go again. This is going to be me telling you all over again about premium. 2,316 times 1.5 is 3,474. However, if I had been doing premium, as you can see, I would have gotten 5,211 XP, and I would have gotten almost, what is that, almost 60,000 more credits. It's worth it if you're into the game, I gotta tell you. Anyways, I'd like to thank you for joining me here on World of Warships with Captain Yamo, and this is your host signing off.